Hi, welcome to Oscar's Green Card, to our last video of 2025, and we're going to discuss what has happened and especially what I expect for 2026 in terms of immigration and especially green cards. Let's start. Hi, as you know, my name is Oscar. I'm a scientist and not a lawyer, and in this channel, together with Marina, we cover green cards like EB2NAW or EB1A, in which you can be a self-petitioner like I was back in the day. Now I teach you and others how to do it in this channel, in our website, oscarsgreencard.com, and in our specialized courses. These green cards, NAW, EB1A, allows you to do the process without having a job offer, and if you want, in a do-it-yourself way, without hiring a lawyer, saving thousands of dollars. But today we're going to look at 2025 and 2026 and try to come up with a list of things that are likely to happen in this upcoming year. 2025 was a very happening year for immigration, not really in a positive way, but I want to talk about the main things that have happened so we can set up the stage for what is about to come in 2026. Because the new year starts in just a few days. By the way, Happy New Year to everyone that is watching. And today we are going to cover what is about to come in US immigration. And don't take this video as a prediction. You know, I don't do predictions, but yes, as a personal take on what's about to come based on our experiences. I was looking at last year's video, and these are screenshots from last year. And these are a few things that I said exactly 1 year ago. I was saying, well, Donald Trump is anti-immigration. He was about to become president. He had already won the elections. And I was saying he's pretty erratic. We can expect a lot of things to change day by day. And that's exactly what is happening. And a lot of uncertainty was about to come. And that is also what happened, especially for immigration. At that time, Donald Trump was very good friends with Elon Musk. So I was saying, well, there's something good about that because Elon Musk is very pro H-1B visas and pro merit-based immigration. But unfortunately for us, that friendship didn't last as I predicted, didn't last very long. Another things that I pointed out is that, you know, there were some risks that were very high in likelihood and then other risks. And I started with the non-green card biggest risks. Here is the list with my tag of is it happening or is not happening yet. And, you know, they crack down on immigration without a valid status or a valid entry. Humanitarian parole program, we are already seeing what is happening. They are retiring it. TPS for a lot of countries was retired as well. Venezuela is a good example of that. Visa interview waivers, that is actually happening to a certain extent. They are asking more and more people to go to interviews, but it's not fully implemented, so that could actually get worse in the future. And then I was seeing other risks like H-1B programs tightening. That actually happened. Now they are imposing this $100,000 fee for people abroad applying for an H-1B. Dependence of H-1B visa holders, they still didn't do much about that, so that's still not yet happening. And STEM OPT rescission or rework was discussed by the director of USCIS. He said that they were actually going to end that program, and that hasn't happened yet. It has only been discussed. I hope they don't implement that change because this is a good program that we have. And then for green cards such as EB2NAW, EB1A, I was saying that for 2025, and I'm doing this also as a recap of the year, not only to brag about all the things that I got right, but I was saying, you know, more scrutiny on the I-140 adjudication process, more RFEs, more denials, actually totally happening. This started with Biden and it got worse with this administration. Fewer adjustment of status interview waivers, longer processing times. Yes, this is happening, at least for the interview waivers, but we are not seeing a big change in processing times for adjustment of status yet. At the end of the video, we're going to talk about I-140, I-485 processing time so you can see where we are right now. I was saying, well, there's also a risk that they go back to expiration of medical exams. That didn't happen. I didn't get that right at all. And I also said shorter EAD or advanced parole card validity. That's actually already announced. It is happening for the EAD cards. Entry bans for certain countries, totally happening. Unfortunately, we already have 2 bans in place. The last one now in December. I'll leave a video right here so you can take a look at those more or less 20 countries that are totally banned and 20 with a partial ban. And finally, I also said, well, maybe they will prevent temporarily certain backlog countries from applying altogether. That needed Congress, so that was not very likely to happen, and that hasn't been initiated at all. That's good, good news there. And then some risk for naturalization process, which actually it is happening because we're seeing naturalization process putting on pause because of the travel ban. So there are things being done in that stage also as well. I was also saying less likely, but on the radar, bigger green card reform that would need Congress approval, needs Republicans agreeing with each other. And I was saying at the time that may not happen already because their majority was not that big. Contrary to what we usually say, Republicans don't have that big of a majority right now. And all of this has not been initiated. Also, no point-based system for green cards, no per country visa limit change. Those things require Congress, and that hasn't happened. And I'll tell you later what I think it can happen in 2026. And by the way, one of the things that was said about Trump's administration is that they had this Project 2025 document before the election, and they were going to follow those points in that program. And actually, we're seeing that for immigration, that did happen to a certain extent. In our website, oscarsgreencard.com, I have a blog post that we created using AI where we look at different topics in that Project 2025 program, and you can see which ones are already in progress and which ones are not. So you can also take a look at that complementary material and see what could continue happening towards the middle and the end of Donald Trump's administration. I believe that 2025 is a realistic representation of what we can expect for 2026. Immigrants, documented or undocumented, will continue to be used as scapegoats or to distract from other important topics. I mean, we saw it with the Epstein files, how they use any topic that they can grab to distract people from putting attention to those relevant topics that they don't want people to discuss about. Immigration is always used to distract people from other issues in the country. And unfortunately, immigrants are one of the most vulnerable groups of people, so they are going to suffer from that political exchange always, in all administrations, but particularly in this one where they took immigration as a matter of priority. No real immigration reform will happen, in my opinion, because that, again, requires Congress. Next year, we will have midterm elections happening in November. A lot of seats in Congress are up for grabs. They are going to be elected in November. And so I don't think they will come together in any shape or form to have a meaningful immigration reform that hasn't happened in decades. And it's certainly not going to happen in this polarized time. Litigations in some areas will continue, I think. One that has already started is birthright citizenship is already in court. That will reach the Supreme Court, actually. I think we are going to see some litigation in the gold card program that was implemented by the president, but probably needed some sort of Congress mandate and is not there. H-1B is already in the court system. One court has already sided with the government in that H-1B fee issue, but we have to see how other suits end in that regard. High likelihood for green cards. Now we're moving to specifics on green cards. Well, adjudication standards will remain high. That's my take. I think we have been seeing that in 2025. We're going to continue seeing high denial rates, or at least if they don't keep getting worse, at least they will remain in the ballpark where we are right now. And on the radar, I also put that rule that was announced for Q1 for EB20W, for EB1A, and I have a video that you can watch over here. I will leave the link over here so you can know what we know and what we don't know about that. And in Q1, we will update you with the news. Likely is that the visa bulletin could move forward because of higher adjudication standards and the multiple travel bans that are in effect, because all those countries that are being banned, eventually those applicants will not go through the second step of the process and they will not take visa numbers. So that essentially gives more visa numbers to other programs if the government uses them. That's the big if. In fiscal year 2025, the Trump administration, which already was there for part of that year, they did use all the employment-based green cards. That was very good news. So if they continue using all the visa numbers and there are all these countries that are banned, essentially there's more visa numbers for the other countries. So the visa bulletin could move forward. Maybe not so much in the coming months, but when the new fiscal year starts at the end of 2026. That could also be because we could see less demand. I think the demand in EB2NW and EB1A will continue decreasing slowly because, the immigration stage is not the best. The news we're getting all the time are negative. People want to apply less and less. People also see the higher denial rates and they may not initiate the process. So these categories like EB2NW, EB1A that became really popular, maybe they will plateau or maybe they will get a little bit less demand. And all those factors could help the visa bulletin in the medium term move forward. Operational changes happening. Well, we have already seen that we are going to start having I-140s filed electronically for NIW and EB1A, and we are also going to see that for I-485 for adjustment of status. Also, I see some potential version changes for forms, particularly for I-485, because the government is also implementing a new public charge rule that I think it will require a new version of the form, and we are going to cover all those things in our courses, because remember that in our courses we keep them updated. For example, the electronic submission, we haven't updated them yet because we don't fully trust the system yet, but as soon as we do in January, February, March, whenever we are confident with the system, our courses will reflect that. Same with form version changes. Whenever we have something like that, our courses will immediately reflect that. So our course members always have the best information available. And if you want to get information for our courses, go to uscisgreencard.com and you will see how you can file your petition step by step. We have video lectures that are not available here on YouTube that you can get only in our course platform. You can submit questions in every lesson. And in EB2NW, we have monthly live sessions as well. Processing times. We're going to finish the 2026 forecast with this. Well, this was the situation in the USCIS Processing Time website in 2022 for EB2NW. We were seeing that 80% of the cases were completed within 20 months. Then October 2023, 10.5 months. It got really, really better. Things were looking also good in December 2024, 1 year ago, but look at it now. We are seeing again 21 months of time. And this is reflected in what we see from our course members and from our audience. People are waiting for a long time if they don't file with premium processing. A different tool from the government that is median processing times is also showing a similar trend. Look at the I-140. It fluctuates with the fiscal year, but in fiscal year 2025, it ended at a very high number, 8 months compared to all these other years, with the exception of 2022 and 2018. And remember that this number here is a median, and it's a median of all I-140s, so it's not only for EB2NW, it's for all categories. So obviously for EB2NW, it's going to be a little bit higher than that. Probably more in line with the number we were seeing here on this screen. But here with this tool, we can also check I-485, and you can see that it's also going back up a little bit. It's not terrible. That's why earlier in the video I said processing time for adjustment of status is still similar, but I think we are about to see the trend reverted. I-765 application for an EAD card got better. This is an exception to the rule. Actually, we are seeing progressively better times. It is true that the EAD card will be valid for a shorter time, but the processing time has gotten better for sure. Let's see if that continues. I hope it does. Now, what is coming for us? Well, first of all, what has happened in 2025? In our YouTube channel in English, we produce 55 long-form videos, and I think that is 10 more than last year. That's a lot of videos, I think more than one a week. And then we had 43 shorts, 3 lives. In the channel in Spanish, we have 33 videos, which is less than last year, actually 16 shorts and 8 lives. We did many more lives in 2024, and the trend will continue. This year, 2026, we are actually going to have many more lives. Especially, I can tell you about Q1 because we already have the schedule. We're going to do 1 live in each channel, 1 in English, 1 in Spanish every month. So at least you're going to get that, and I hope that trend continues. This year, we had 4 courses that we maintained. That's 2 more than last year. We have now 1 course about RFPs in EB2NW and 1 for introduction to the categories and profile building. We have now 5 websites because we added our portal oscarsgreencard.com that brings everything together. And I can tell you that we have new products coming up, and I'm very excited about those products. We're going to roll them out for our course members first, and then we're going to make them available for everyone else. So stay tuned. If you are in our courses, especially in EB1A, in the coming days, I'm going to announce a new exciting product for you. And then, of course, you can follow us in Instagram and TikTok. And I have also special news for the beginning of the year, because next year in Q1, we're going to have 3 quarterly sponsors of our videos. We were very lucky to engage with partners of us, companies that we already work with in our courses, and they are going to sponsor some, not all, but some of our videos in this YouTube channel, which in turn is also going to help us become more professional and create better quality videos for you, for our audience. And I will unveil who they are, who these wonderful companies are, in the beginning of 2026. They are all immigration companies. They are all high quality companies that I trust. So we are so fortunate to have these relationships, and we are very thankful to them. And now I want to ask you the question, what do you think 2026 is going to bring immigration-wise? Do you have high hopes? Do you think that Donald Trump's administration will open up a little bit now that we are going into an election year, and merit-based immigration will suffer a little bit less and will have a little bit more certain times? I want to hear your opinion. What do you think about all of this? Write in the comments below. We read all of them and we try to answer most of them as well.
We hope you like this recap of 2025 and are looking forward to a better 2026.
This has been a challenging year for immigration, for sure, and we do hope 2026 will bring better news and more certainty to this community.
And as always, thank you for your support, for being here with us, and we wish you a happy holiday season and a wonderful 2026.